Welcome to the animated recap. In this video, we have recapped the adventure, sci-fi and action movie Iron Giant that was released in 1999. The movie starts with a giant robot that crashes into the Earth from space. A boy discovers it. He conceals it, but soon discovers that the robot was not what he had believed it to be. It is a powerful robot. A scene of a stranded sailor in the middle of the ocean opens the film. He was asking the control panel for assistance. Meanwhile, he notices a pointed light descending to the ground from the sky. He is startled by the wave and falls to the ground, collapsing with it. He notices something giant after turning things around. He flies with the waves and crashes into a tree. In the morning, a boy who lives in the city of Hogarth is shown. His father was a pilot for the US military, and he lives with his mother. His father passed away as a result of the Korean War. He brings a squirrel that he himself caught here. His mother had previously worked at a small eatery. His wish to keep it as a pet was denied by his mother. Eventually, the squirrel escapes the container and into Dean's pent. As he leaves his penthouse, the man starts acting strangely and wrecking things. When Hogarth returns home, his mother calls him to let him know that she would be late. He was watching TV at home. He climbs a tree to fix the TV signals when they stop working in the meantime. He notices that the wires were snapped and moves to investigate with his long rifle. What is happening across the city? He doesn't see anyone, but soon a massive robot appears. When Hogarth sees it, his gun is knocked out of his hand. It makes an attempt to consume the transmission light but is unsuccessful, shocking the user in the process. Now there is no light in the entire city. When Hogarth saw this, he began to flee, but he stopped when he heard the robot crying. He felt bad for that robot and flipped the main switch off the line. The robot hits the ground with a crash. However, when his mother returns home, she is unable to locate him. Hogarth walks up to the still robot and notices it. The robot Hogarth wakes up suddenly, becomes afraid, and runs away. As soon as his mother gets there, he tries to convince her that he saw a giant robot. His mother scolds him before dismissing him and sending him home. The next day, two men are observed discussing this odd incident. Since only half of their director was missing. Upon seeing the scene of the tragedy, an officer by the name of Kent Mansley arrived to investigate what looks to have it in it. He was rather rude and believed that a huge beast had perpetrated the crime. He finds the gun as proof that Hogarth dropped it last night. The gun was harmed, and his name was similarly lost. When Kent gets into his car after gathering all the evidence, he finds that half of it has disappeared. Metal, which Hogarth takes to the forest the following day, is the gigantic robot's diet. He had a camera with him so he could record it. Now he stands there and awaits the robot. The metal had disappeared when Hogarth awoke after falling asleep because he was bored and the robot still hadn't shown up. He notices a big robot when he turns to look behind him. When he notices it, he flees and collides with a tree. A fall happens. The robot approaches him, but he is unharmed. Hogarth assumes that the robot is aware that I saved it the previous evening the instant he sees the switch button in its grasp. Hogarth makes an attempt to speak with it but is unsuccessful. It starts to mimic him. Later, Hogarth teaches it a variety of subjects, and it picks everything up. If Hogarth tells anyone about it, he thinks that they would all start to panic. They could dispose of this robot. He decides to keep it a secret. He instructs the robot to creep through these forests. The robot, which was after Hogarth, teaches it a number of things before departing. As he moves away, Hogarth observes the robot trying to swallow the railroad track. The train then requested the robot to resurface the railroad track because it was going to depart as well. The robot rams into the train while doing this. Its metal parts also disintegrate. Hogarth thinks that after viewing this, he is to blame for this. Later, he learns that the robot is capable of self-healing. It can therefore make itself fine, and its parts fit together. The robot reverts to its initial configuration. The thing that had fallen from the sky wasn't a meteoroid, Kent Mansley, was stating to his superior officer. Instead, it was another object. After that, his office is informed of the strange incident. He dashes over there and comes across a man who informs him that the train struck a massive metal robot that he had seen. When his higher officer overhears this, Kent tries to explain it to him. Since he lacks a phone, he walks over to Hogarth's house after seeing it from the street. On the other side, in Hogarth's garage, the robot is kept a secret. Still operating, the robot was there. His mother returns home while he is leaving the robot. He is enjoying dinner with his mother when a mechanical hand enters the house. He was about to throw the hand outside the house when Kent Mansley arrived. He asks permission to use their phone. He tells his officer about the robot, but the officer doesn't believe him because of a lack of evidence. He hangs up the phone, angering Kent, who suddenly makes an appearance. He finds out the boy's name is Hogarth as he leaves, and after getting to know the boy, he recognizes the gun as being his when he sees it. As he makes his way back to his residence, he asks him whether he observed anything during that eventful night. No, Hogarth replies. After hearing strange sounds coming from Hogarth's higher floor, he walks upstairs and, upon finding them, throws the robot's hand out the window. Kent was unhappy with his comments as Hogarth was leaving. Hogarth visits the robot at midnight. He talks to them about the Superman comic. He tells it about his productive duties. Because there is no metal nearby and because the robot is hungry, it travels to the forest. They find a wrecked car there, but they manage to keep it from consuming it. The one who takes it is Dean. He was an artist who purchased the waste stuff. Hogarth receives it at Dean's home while he is being observed. He has gathered metal parts there. The robot eats the scrap stuff. The horn of a crashed car starts to blare in the distance. To turn the automobile off, the robot throws it in the general direction of Dean's house. Dean leaves his home to see what is going on, but while Dean is preoccupied, Hogarth walks in. Dean used to buy people's trashy goods and transform them into brand new ones. He is well acquainted with Hogarth and used to frequent the restaurant owned by Hogarth's mother. After hearing voices, Dean goes outside to investigate and finds a huge robot. He runs with it because he sees Hogarth as a threat to him. Hogarth introduces Dean to the robot and gives him the notion that it won't hurt him. Dean is pleaded with by Hogarth to let him keep the robot in his garage tonight. Dean initially turns him down but eventually gives in. It's morning when Hogarth gets home. He encounters Kent, who has hired a room to keep an eye on him as he makes his way down the stairs. Since daylight has come and he is in possession of the robot, Dean calls Hogarth. He asks him to fetch the robot from here, but when Kent arrives, Hogarth cuts him off. Kent asks Hogarth several questions about that evening. Hogarth storms out of the house after Kent infuriates him and goes to meet Dean. They had a terrific time there. Kent had strange things every day. While completing the investigation, Kent finds multiple images of Hogarth and a shot of Hogarth with the giant robot. Additionally, he finds Hogarth's camera. The deer was discovered by Hogarth and the robot when they were exploring the forest. They get close to the deer to see it. As they approach it, a hunter shoots the deer. Upon seeing the deer die, the robot becomes depressed. You are correct, as Hogarth makes very plain. Everyone is bad and everything has a beginning and an end. Death through natural causes is not a bad thing. When Hogarth gets home, he says this. Strange sights appear to the robot that evening, causing it to awaken. Holding Hogarth, Kent continues, today your mother will be late, and you will speak the truth. He asks about the robot while viewing the photograph. Hogarth stays silent, but Kent threatens to break off communication if he doesn't tell the truth. Hogarth warns him of the robot's whereabouts because he is afraid. The following morning, Kent and the soldiers arrive at the location. He asks Dean a question about the metal robot. When Dean reveals the robot to Kent, he is shocked to see it. It seems to be a part of Dean's artistic approach. No one is aware that it is true. When the general notices everything, he lashes out at Kent. He said it, therefore he brought this substantial force. He returns bearing an army. The robot changes back into its normal state as soon as they leave. Then Hogarth begins to play with the robot. The robot's eyes glow when Hogarth points his firearm while they are playing. As soon as he removes the pistol, the robot resumes its regular state. Dean noticed the robot about to attack Hogarth again and halted it. He saves him and demands angrily that the robot move aside. It moves on when he makes disparaging remarks about it. When Dean sees the gun, he realizes the robot attacked Hogarth out of self-preservation. They search for it while riding their bikes. On the other side of the building, two kids are spotted playing and in danger of falling from their structure. The robot assists the kids in fleeing danger and landing securely. The general public believes the robot to be nice. Hogarth and Dean were there, along with his mother. The Kent cop and the others spot the giant robot as they are leaving the city. He alerts his general, who then attacks the robot. While protecting Hogarth and Dean and trying to convince them that the robot won't hurt anyone if they don't use guns, the robot flees from the area. He is not hurt. Running while exploring allows the robot to also soar. It waves its hands and soars like Superman. The army refuses to depart and makes an effort to hurt the robot in any way. As a result of their assault, it collapses. It collapses and discovers Hogarth unconscious. The robot thinks Hogarth is going to die as a result, and everyone starts attacking it. They are then attacked by the robot after it turns on. Later, Kent instructs his general to detonate an atomic bomb and asks him to destroy the robot while escorting it away from the city. When Hogarth wakes up, he travels in the direction of the robot after receiving the command to point at it. When it saw Hogarth, the robot changed from its intended attack mode and returned to normal. According to Hogarth, we must demonstrate that you are a kind robot. Kent was requesting that the general provide the missile launch order. He doesn't place the order because he can see the robot in its regular state. When Kent saw where the robot was, he gave the command to launch the missile. It implies that they will perish once the missile touches down. Because of this, the general becomes enraged with him, and when Kent realizes this, he flees the scene. After stopping him, the robot chooses to approach the rocket in an effort to stop it. It helps Hogarth comprehend not to pursue it. It approaches the missile and deliberately collides with it. It caused a tremendous explosion in the sky. On Earth, everyone was saved. They start to smile. After a few months, the robot was memorialized in the city as a result of its valor. When Hogarth was resting at night, the general sent a screw to him, and the screw was leaving. When Hogarth notices it, he opens his home's window. It is demonstrated how the robot's components come together. It implies that the robot will soon return to its original state. The story of this movie ends here. We hope that you people would have liked this video. Please tell us in the comment section that what new movies we should recap in next videos. In next videos, we will come with the recaps of more exciting animated movies. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon.